Kia ora everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Renee. I like to read books and then talk about them on the internet. Welcome to a new video. I have spent far too long trying to perfect this list to a point where I have recorded this video twice, then changed the list, and now I'm just like, no, you have to just settle on it, record this, edit it, put it out there, and be done with it, because you can't keep going on like this. You could keep going on forever, but you would never read anything, so let's just get on with it. So yes, as you can probably tell by the title of this video, this is my much anticipated 20 books for 2024. So basically a year-long TBR, if anyone wasn't aware. I believe it was a tag that was started on Bookstagram, and it's kind of migrated its way over to YouTube, which is cool. And basically I'm just gonna share that list with you and talk a little bit about it. Yeah, okay, let's get into the books. So basically I just kind of picked a mixture of books that I really want to read, obviously, and stories that I know that I really enjoy, books that are going to help me achieve some of my other goals that I've set for this year. Yeah, things that I'm going to be like proud to have accomplished. Yeah, I'm really excited about what we got going on here. These are in alphabetical order by author's last name. First up, we have Alias Grace by Margaret Atwood. I've never read any Margaret Atwood, and I would like to correct that this year. So I'll be reading this as a buddy read with my friend Sophie, who is attempting to read all of Margaret Atwood's work this year. She's got her whole year planned out and scheduled. I do believe this book is set for December, so it's gonna be a long time, but I'm looking forward to reading it with someone, and I believe it's about sisters and perhaps a bit of a mystery thrillery element to it. Next we have The Sellout by Paul Beatty. This book has been on my shelf for years, and picking it up and considering it for this list, I was like, let me just read the back and see what it's actually about. And it sounds like a romp. It sounds like it's going to be a bit different, kind of like unexpected, a bit of a satire, a retelling of a classic. Yeah, some interesting stuff potentially lies within these pages. It's also a prize winner, Booker Prize winner. So was that Margaret Atwood, so there we go. Ticking off those ones as well. So I'm really looking forward to this. Perhaps some comic satirical relief. Burnham Wood by Eleanor Catton. This was a book that many people had in their top books for 2023. Yeah, anyway, lots of people raved about this. Lots of people said it was their favourite. She's a New Zealander. I feel like I should have read this by now. Bit of an eco thriller is the word that I've heard to describe it. So yeah, I'm always keen to read stuff set in New Zealand, and I've never read any Eleanor Catton. Heartburn by Nora Ephron. This is in there for a bit of comic relief as well. A bit of light-hearted rom-com fun. Fun. I also really enjoy Nora Ephron. I love her films. I love her non-fiction writing. She is a fave, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. I'm also doing this as a buddy read, so if you're keen for any buddy reads, let me know. Desperate Characters by Paula Fox. This one was a last-minute edition. I was thinking I needed a slim but impactful book, and I saw this one and thought, that's the one. I've heard a lot of people talk about how much they love this book, how fun it is. It's set in Brooklyn. We have a married couple at the heart of the story. One of them is attacked by a stray cat, and then the story unfolds from there. Very much looking forward to seeing what it's all about. Poor Things by Alistair Gray. Can we just take a moment to appreciate, can you see that? Is it focusing? I don't know. This cover. I usually hate a movie tie-in. There's a few exceptions on my shelf, but this is just fabulous. I mean, the visuals of this film, stunning. You need it to have it on the cover of this book. But yes, this has been adapted into a film, and I really want to see it, but I would like to read the book first. One of my other goals this year is to try to watch more films. I am going to try and watch one a week. It's 52, and yeah, this is going to be a step towards that goal, trying to achieve it. But yeah, I am very excited to see the film. I've also heard wonderful, wonderful things about this book. So many people recently have read it in anticipation for the film and said that it's great. It's set in Scotland during the Victorian era, and there's a bit of a Frankenstein twist to it. Pew by Catherine Lacey. I haven't read any Catherine Lacey. I know. Very, very sad of me. But of the ones that I have, this one is kind of like the most interesting to me. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I know what it's about a lot, and I'm keen to get into it and see what I think. The little that I do know about it, it has to do with a mysterious character who turns up in this quite religious town and starts becoming almost a confessional for people as they are mute and they don't speak. A lot of people start to empty themselves into this mysterious unknown person. I'm quite excited to read her words and see how I like her writing. The Balkan Trilogy by Olivia Manning. Technically this could be considered 3 books, but I'm going to count it as one. It is a series. It is about a marriage set during World War II, and this couple who are moving around Europe in order to avoid the war as much as they can, and their relationship through the years that it kind of continues on. I have heard so many good things about this book. It's been adapted to TV shows. It is very highly praised. I'm very, very excited. But it's massive. I think it's over 1,000 pages. The Road by Cormac McCarthy. This is one of those books that anytime anyone sees it on my shelf and asks, have I read it? They always kind of push me. They're like, you have to read this book. It's so good. So many people, it's their favorite. It's the story of a relationship between a father and a son set in like a dystopian time as they are traveling across America. And I've heard that it's like very heartbreaking, very sad. It's also a prize winner. Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. I mean, I just thought, let's just go all out this year. I have so many big books on my shelf that I have been putting off because of how intimidated I am by the size of them. But this one I think is going to be good. My friend Sophie has read this last year and talked about how readable it was. She said she felt like she could read 100 pages and it felt like nothing. That's how I felt when I was reading East of Eden. Yeah, I just want more long stories that I can really get into this year, and this is like the ultimate in there, I think. Circe by Madeline Miller. I recently purchased this book, but it's been on my want to read list for a long, long time. Greek myth, I'm into that. We'll give it a go. This is one of those ones that people seem to really enjoy, so it's in there for a bit of variety. I don't know the story of Circe, but I'm about to find out. Lies and Sorcery by Elsa Morante. Elsa Morante is an Italian writer. I heard about this book through the New York Book Review podcast, and one of the critics on there, in their best books of 2023, this wasn't on the list, but it was a book that she recommended outside of it, and it was described by her as Ferrante before Ferrante. So immediately I was like, I need this book, and I went on to Black Whales, I purchased it, and it's arrived, and I'm very excited about it. It's only just in 2023 been translated from Italian into English, so it's kind of new. Even though it was first written in the 50s, maybe the late 40s, I can't quite remember, it's only just being read in English very recently. So I'm really excited about this. It's supposed to be this sweeping family saga story with, you know, those complicated relationships that Ferrante writes about. I know that from Ferrante's non-fiction writing, she references and describes Morante as a massive influence to her, so I am very excited to read her work for the first time. This has a touch of magical realism in it as well, which is something new for me. I don't particularly reach for that kind of stuff, but I'm excited to try new things this year. And she big. She had 100 pages. She also came water damaged, and when I contacted Black Whales, they were like, here's a refund. So I got this for free. The Bluest Dye by Toni Morrison. One of my other goals this year was to finish the rest of Toni Morrison's work that I hadn't read. So I'm putting one of these on the list to make it easier for myself. I don't know, The Bluest Dye was just what I chose, and I'm very excited about it. I don't know much about the story, but it's Morrison. She's going to be done this year, and it's going to be good. A Severed Head by Iris Murdoch. I have to read some Murdoch this year. She has always been described to me as someone who writes horrible but believable and relatable and entertaining characters. So of all her books, I think this is kind of like it feels like a good entry point and would give me a good idea as to like what Iris's style is like. And I hate this cover. I hate this book so much, but we're just going with it. We're not worrying about it. We're just going to read the words inside and forget about what it looks on the outside. But yeah, I'm excited for a romp. The Country Girls by Edna O'Brien. Recently, I have been on a Irish literature kick. A very small one. It's like the start of it. I'm wanting to kind of reach for things that are either written by Irish authors or set in Ireland or are about Irish history. I don't know why. It's just something that's started happening recently and I'm into it. So we're just going with it. This is a trilogy. I believe it's about female friendship. It's set in Dublin. Rebecca from rereads described this as, or equated this to the Neapolitan Quartet for her, but Irish. And so that's like a winning combination for me. So I'm very excited about that. Bonjour Tristesse by François Sagan. This also has A Certain Smile in it, which I'll probably also read. The reason I'm reading this, want to read this year, is because Durgachu Bose is adapting this book into a film. And it's got Chloe Sevigny in it. I don't know who else is in it, but I need anything that woman is creating, like film, writing, essays, like anything she touches her hand to, I need immediately. I'm going to read the book, then I'm going to watch the film. I'm very, very excited to see it. Me Talk Pretty One Day by David Sedaris. I need some humour in this. There's a lot of like big books, a lot of stuff I'm going to get lost in. I needed some kind of light-hearted memoir. I love David Sedaris. I haven't read him for a while, so I thought good opportunity to do that. I think I'm also going to listen to this on audio because he is hilarious. He reads a lot of his own audiobooks, I think, if not all of them. So yeah, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a nice little bit of relief. Yeah, it just felt necessary amongst all the biggies. 1,000 Acres by Jane Smiley. This was one of those books that was recommended to me years ago. I've been trying to look for it secondhand because it felt like a book that I could get quite easily secondhand, but I think it's one of her more popular ones, so they do get snapped up quite easily. It's a retelling of Shakespeare, King Lear, I believe. It's about a family, a dysfunctional family fighting over a farm, and it sounds great. I'm here for families who fight over inheritance, kind of like rural American version of Succession. I'm really looking forward to this. It's not as big as some of the more like chunky novels, but it feels like it's going to be like a great kind of story to get into. The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I am going to reread this book this year. I've read it before. It is the only book in my adult life that has ever made me cry. I don't cry easily when I read books. This one did make me cry when I read it probably more than 10 years ago now. Yeah, I've just been reading a bit of like just okay fantasy recently, and it made me realize how much I love a world building, thought out journey fantasy story, and this is like a great one. So I'm gonna read this. I've also treated myself to a brand new copy of it because I'm trying to preserve this one. This is the copy my dad gave me. I don't really want to like ruin it. It's pretty beat up. I'm looking forward to, I don't know, maybe I'll cry again, who knows. Maybe I have developed an ice heart. Okay, last book on the list, The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. This one kind of hits a lot of boxes for me. It's a prize winner. It has been adapted into a TV series, which I do want to watch. I know that's not a film, but I want to watch the TV series. And it's Colson Whitehead. He is one of my favourite male writers. I think I've enjoyed everything that I've ever read of his, and I know that this is going to be great, amazing. I'm just bracing myself for how heavy it's going to be given the subject. It's about the Underground Railroad, slavery during Civil War times in America, some heavy shit. But I'm ready. I'm gonna do it. Hopefully I'll be okay after that. And that is my 20 books for 2024 TBR. I hope you got some entertainment out of that. Maybe I've given you some ideas about what books you might want to read this year. If anyone would like to do a buddy read at any point, let me know, because I am, keen to get through these. A lot of the books that I read last year from my list were buddy reads, so I think that helps. I'm excited about this list. Like, we've got a lot of big books on here, but I'm really, really looking forward to reading some longer novels this year. And just like good stories that I know are going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Ka kite.